afternoon, evening, and morning. Welcome to today's version of Fairport Harbor Public Library's Test Kitchen with our very own rabbit food entrepreneur, Chef Lee Negrelli. Maria said, Maria calls you Chef Lee all the time. So
okay,
there it is.
That's who I am.
And today, what are we doing? We're infusing things.
Yeah, we're gonna do the most simple dinner that you can possibly do. It can make a full meal, it can be appetizers, it can be hors d'oeuvres, whatever you want. You have a lot of different options. We are gonna make a kind of a no cook. I know you see this pot of boiling water, don't worry, we're not really cooking anything. We're gonna make a couple different mayo spreads for some summer sandwiches and just give you some ideas for things you can do when it's just too hot and you don't wanna cook and you have these beautiful tomatoes from your garden or wherever you get tomatoes. So we are going to start with
Follow Your Heart mayonnaise, which is Vegan-aise. It actually, as a Hellmann's freak, I was convinced I wouldn't like it. You can't tell the difference. Well, you can, but it's not the end of the world kind of difference.
that's a good endorsement.
There it is.
Yeah. So we're going to start with a lemon dill mayo. So we just put some mayo in a bowl. I'm going to chop up some dill.
And this is going to be Kat's favorite because
I'm really loading it in there. I love dill and I think
things.
it's so good. We're going to go cracked black pepper. I like a coarse grind for this, which is why I brought the grinder instead of using the shaker. And lemon juice. Of course, I wanted to buy a real lemon. I forgot it. We're going to use the juice. And we need some salt.
Smells wonderful.
It's just really bright and fresh. You could actually, if you're trying to avoid mayo, you can use a mashed avocado and do this exact same thing.
Ooh, that's a good. Then it'll be green though.
It'll be green. That's okay. We're making a green sandwich because the cucumber is for the dill sandwiches. And I'm separating our tomatoes and cucumbers today just so it looks like we're doing more things and having more variety. But you can absolutely put your cucumbers and tomatoes on the same sandwich with the same
sauce.
Same sauce for sure. So this is just a roll.
That we made, by the way.
No.
No?
I mean, I baked them, but this is just a frozen dinner roll. I get no credit for this. I get credit for forgetting about them and overproving them.
Oh, all right.
So cucumbers go on here. Slather it up. We want to salt our cucumbers as well.
How far
Bam!
ahead can you
Look
make
at that.
this? That is beautiful.
So light, so fresh. If you get really small little rolls, you can put these out, stick a toothpick in them, fill a tray. You've got appetizers that cost you almost nothing and they look fancy. And it's so much upgraded than just a plain mayo. So.
And the other thing you can do, if you like this sort of thing, is those, one moment please, I'm going to walk off camera.
Are we following her off camera or should I fill time?
You keep talking. You keep talking.
So our second sandwich is going to be tomato based. So if you get, these are gorgeous tomatoes. They were grown in the greenhouse at Rainbow Farms just down the street. So they're super local, super perfect. And then we've got these big guys, the heirloom ones like this.
Where'd you get that one?
This one came from Heinen's. So I actually had hoped that my rolls were going to be the size of these so I can make real little just tomato stacks. But here's what I want to show you because it fancies it up a little bit if you take the skin off, which of course is optional. But if you don't know how to peel a tomato, all right, so you've got the stem end and then the bottom. So we're going to go on the bottom.
It's called the flower end for anybody that cares.
We're just going to cut a small X. You just want to go through the skin. And we're going to drop it in boiling water. We're not cooking it. We're just dropping it in water. I don't know the science behind this. I don't know why it works. I'm guessing that the boiling water gets up into the slit that you made and then loosens the skin. We're gonna go with that. It only takes a few seconds.
Who taught you that?
The Food Network probably.
Did they? Okay, because I have skinned tomatoes for years to can them or freeze them. Never have I cut the ends. I just
No?
drop them in whole.
Oh, okay. Well, that gives you a
It
start.
does do that.
So then you get this. You can just peel them off.
That is much neater than the mess I make, by the way.
And again, the tomato is still perfectly raw. We have not cooked it. Come on, I don't have the fingernails for this. Okay. Some spots get a little bit stuck, and that's probably because I didn't have the pot full of water. It wasn't fully covered, so you can tell where towards the top.
If you don't leave them in long enough, some of it just doesn't get cooked. I mean, it doesn't separate.
Right, which is not a big deal because you can see I'm still dealing with it and still gotten it all off. So then we're gonna slice the tomato. If you have a serrated knife, that's the kind with the jagged edges that looks like a saw, those are best for tomatoes. It is much slipperier without the skin, so be careful.
Can you say that again?
Slipperier. All right, and let's slice this guy too so we can see how pretty it's gonna be.
Do we want to peel him? No?
We're not gonna peel this guy. Look at that. So these are the ones, these big ones are the ones you just throw on some white bread and...
Yeah, you do.
All right, so for our, too many things going on here. For the next mayo,
Tomatoes love basil.
we are gonna use basil. So here's a good way to chop your basil. I love that we have the camera right here so you can see what I'm doing. We're gonna stack all of the leaves. Let us know in the comments if you prefer this camera work to our old way. I think you do. All right, so you've got our stack of basil. Roll them up tight. And then you've got your little cigar roll and you just make little thin strips like this. And then look at that, you've got sliced basil.
That is beauteous.
Beauteous.
We need sense around camera work though. Kath, can you work on that?
Salt. And I'm gonna add some garlic in here as well.
Because the aroma is amazing.
So we want real small pieces of garlic. I don't like biting into chunks of raw garlic. If you do, then do your thing. But I'm gonna give it a smash, okay? And then you can do this as many times as you want until you get it as small as you want. Just run the knife over it. Careful to keep your hand on top of the knife so your fingers don't slide underneath the blade.
Sharp knives are safer than dull knives.
Yes, get your knives sharpened if they won't cut through a tomato skin. That's a good test because tomato skins are surprisingly difficult to cut, especially if you have a dull knife. All right, so we're gonna go in here with our garlic. Stir that up. Let's do a little bit of lemon juice in this one too. You cannot go wrong with lemon juice and herbs. They're a beautiful combination. They love each other. There you go. Let's get one of our underproofed rolls. So much basil. It's like a salad on there.
Ta-da!
Bam, look at that. Summer meal. Just load a plate up with these things, open a bag of potato chips, and you are good to go.
And you are ready to roll. The other thing you can use to make wonderful summer sandwiches are these flatbreads. You have to cut the tomatoes a little differently so that they'll roll or fold. But again, you want to throw one together?
Let's throw one together. Let's use these little guys. So we'll use some cucumbers too. So I'm gonna cut these in half. So we'll do little half moons.
This is spinach and herb extreme wellness. And I'm gonna burn the house down because I'm gonna throw it on the burner.
Okay, so we'll do that. Little salt always. What do you think, dill or basil with this? I'm gonna do dill.
Dill.
I should have spread this on the tortilla before I did this. Too late now. Just give it a little fold. There you go.
Dinner in all of its forms. Ta-da! Yay! Well
Easy.
done, ma'am.
Yeah. See you next time.